You are not ready for what you're about to hear. A disrespectful liberal comedian, an unsuspecting mother, and a young man who wouldn't let his family be disrespected. In this unforgettable moment, Barron Trump defends his mother, Melania, after a rude and uncalled-for attack during a live comedy set. What starts as an attempt to humiliate Melania turns into an epic moment of reckoning as Barron brutally takes over the show, leaving the comedian's reputation in tatters. Trust me, this is a takedown you'll want to see until the very last second. So, buckle up, because Barron Trump is about to deliver justice like you've never seen before. The setting is a high-profile charity event, bustling with elegant attendees, soft music, and an air of class. The ballroom was filled with high society business moguls, politicians, and celebrities all dressed in their finest. Among them sat Melania Trump, the epitome of grace in a stunning white gown, seated quietly at a table near the stage. Barron Trump, towering at 6'7", stood protectively nearby, his presence calm but commanding. The entertainment for the evening was a liberal comedian, known for his edgy, often controversial jokes. With a reputation for pushing boundaries and sparking outrage, he seemed out of place in such a refined setting. Yet the audience, curious and polite, waited for him to begin his set. Little did they know, the comedian had an agenda, and it was about to backfire spectacularly. The comedian took the stage, bald and overweight, dressed in a suit that seemed one size too small. With a microphone in hand, he began his routine with the usual light-hearted jabs at current events and culture. The crowd chuckled politely, though his jokes were far from groundbreaking. Then, his tone shifted. "You know, I wasn't sure who I'd see here tonight," he said, pacing the stage. "But I'll tell you who I didn't expect, Melania Trump." The audience's laughter turned awkward as heads turned toward her. Melania maintained her composure, her expression unreadable, but the room's atmosphere grew tense. "I mean, let's be real," the comedian continued, smirking. "What's it like to live with someone who tweets more than he talks? Or better yet, are you planning to stick around, or is divorce number 3 coming up soon?" The crowd gasped. The line had crossed from humor to blatant disrespect. Melania's face remained calm, but the hurt in her eyes was unmistakable. Barron, standing nearby, stiffened. The comedian, oblivious to the shift in mood, kept going. Before the comedian could deliver another insult, Barron Trump stepped forward. His tall frame immediately drew every eye in the room. His expression was fierce, his anger controlled but evident. He walked toward the stage with a calmness that belied the storm brewing beneath the surface. The comedian paused, his smirk faltering as Barron approached. "Oh, looks like I struck a nerve," he said into the microphone, attempting to laugh it off. But Barron didn't stop until he was standing at the edge of the stage, towering over the comedian. "Let's talk about nerves," Barron said, his voice steady and resonant. The room fell silent. "You seem to have a lot of them. To stand here and insult my mother in front of this audience, is that supposed to be comedy?" The comedian blinked, caught off guard. "Hey, it's all in good fun," he began, but Barron cut him off. "Good fun?" Barron repeated, his tone razor-sharp. "Making jokes about divorce? Belittling someone's marriage, that's not comedy. That's cowardice disguised as humor." The audience erupted into applause. The comedian shifted uncomfortably, trying to regain control, but Barron wasn't finished. Barron turned slightly, addressing the crowd. "We're all here tonight for a good cause," he said. "But instead, we're being subjected to this man's insecurities masquerading as entertainment." Laughter rippled through the room, this time directed at the comedian. Barron turned back to him, his piercing gaze locking the man in place. "You think being a comedian gives you a free pass to insult people without consequence?" Barron asked, his voice rising slightly. "It doesn't, and let's be honest. You don't need to tell jokes for a living. You're practically a walking joke already." The audience roared with laughter. The comedian's face turned beet red as he struggled to respond. "You've made your career out of mocking others, but have you ever taken a good look in the mirror?" Barron continued, "Because let's be real, The only punchline here is your lack of respect. The room erupted again, this time with cheers. The comedian fumbled with the microphone, but Barron stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. "If you think humiliating my mother makes you brave, it doesn't," Barron said, his tone cutting. "It makes you small. And judging by your lack of self-control and basic decency, that's probably something you're used to." The comedian's hands shook as he tried to speak, but no words came out. The audience, now entirely on Barron's side, began chanting his name. Barron leaned in slightly, his voice dropping just enough for everyone to hear. "Next time, think twice before you try to embarrass someone who has more grace in one moment than you've shown in your entire career." He turned to the crowd. "Let's get back to what matters tonight: supporting a good cause, not giving a platform to someone who clearly doesn't deserve it." Within hours, clips of the moment flooded social media. The hashtags #BarronDestroysComedian and #RespectMelania trended worldwide. News outlets picked up the story, with headlines praising Barron's composure and takedown of the disrespectful comedian. The comedian issued a public apology the next day, but it was too late. His career took a massive hit, with many canceling future bookings. Meanwhile, Barron's actions were celebrated as a masterclass in defending one's family with dignity and strength. This wasn't just about standing up to a bully. It was about setting a standard for respect. And Barron Trump showed the world that sometimes the quietest voices carry the most power. Boy, was the tension in that room pretty heavy. If you like this story, please like and subscribe to stay tuned for more.